99.9 Punk World Radio FM. We are live and we got a phenomenal rock band. We got a West Coast, California-based rock band. We got Open Window right here live on the radio station airwaves. Guys, how are you doing tonight all the way out there in sunny and, as you told me, very hot California?
We're melting.
Yeah, doing good, though. Doing good. Doing great.
Literally melting, for sure.
Living the life.
Good. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, hopefully this you guys staying inside with the AC and whatnot for this interview actually helps cool you guys down a little bit. But I would just be you guys were just telling me 115 degrees, man. I mean, I don't know how you guys can do that.
Well, we get used to it. After a while, it's 115 is like 70. You know, it's winter.
115 degrees here in Canada is like just jumping inside your oven and just turning it on.
Are you in Canada?
I am, yeah. I'm over on the east coast of Canada, so I'm right across the border from New York State.
Okay. I've got some family up there.
Yeah, it's very beautiful, but I will say, like, after living here for my whole life, it's kind of overrated. I definitely wish I was in California.
Well.
But I know you guys are busy individuals, so of course I'm not going to take you away from your Monday evening too long. But I want to take you back to the year 2006, where Open Window was actually born during from what I read, a one-off recording session that turned obviously into something much, much more. Looking back almost 20 years, can you tell us a story behind that recording session and what ultimately led you guys to becoming what you guys are today as Open Window?
Shall I go?
Go ahead.
Daniel, please.
For 2006, I was I was a recording artist for a now defunct record label called American Music Corporation, AMC. And I was in a band called Asa Cruz. And although we were a band, I was the only songwriter in the band. So I wrote music and lyrics. And so while the band had a record deal, I solely had a publishing deal. And by 2005, Asa Cruz spanned about 1999 to 2005. At the end of 2005, Asa Cruz started winding down with touring, but my publisher still wanted more songs. So I begun writing more songs like I had previously. But James and I were teenage buddies, and we've been friends since we were teenagers. And on or around that time, we started getting together and started co-writing some stuff too. So I had a block, half a dozen songs that I'd written solely, and then maybe another half a dozen that James and I call him Jimmy because I've known him since he was a teenager. Jimmy and I started crafting some tunes ourselves. At that point, it kind of became clear I don't think I'm going back to Asa Cruz. I'm going to just sort of go solo songwriter kind of path. Went into the studio, started tracking some of these songs. Used the drummer from Asa Cruz. He's John Aponte. He can't be with us today. So John Aponte was Asa Cruz drummer. So I had John Aponte, Jimmy on guitar, me on guitar, and then me on vocals. We started working up these songs. We needed a really good bass player. Wayne Rothstein came recommended by other colleague of mine. And we all started recording these tunes. I think ultimately we had about 10 or 11, 12 tracks or something. Mm-hmm. Long and short, about a year later, I released an album and we started calling ourselves Open Window based on one of the lyrics in one of the songs. And we started playing out and touring around, and we that's kind of how it happened.
It definitely sounds like one hell of a phenomenal story. It sounds like a right place, right time.
I think so, yeah. We really gelled. I mean, Jimmy and I already had chemistry from working when we were really young. We were in a band many years before that. And so we already had sort of a chemistry. It came back pretty quickly. John, the drummer, and I had chemistry because we just toured for 5 or 6 years. And
then I came and disrupted the whole thing.
Yeah. And he's like our musical genius. We call him Doc. He's like the Doc,
the mad scientist.
Yeah, I'm the guy that went to music school and learned how to, notate everything and listen to everything with all the harmonies and all that stuff. So, it was something they needed, and it fit in well. We really gelled. So.
And also as well, in 2006, you guys were also honored as nominees for Independent Rock Album of the Year and actually received the award for Best Lyrical Content. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about that award almost 20 years ago, because if you're really thinking about it, it's crazy to think that next year will be 20 years.
Yeah, it really is.
No.
So, you know, you want to talk about that, Jim, or I don't want to like.
Please. Go ahead, Daniel.
I mean, my recollection of it, I don't know even if I think about it often. Well, you actually have the award up in your studio, right?
Yeah.
So I am reminded about it from time to time. This was like a Southern California Music Awards or
Los Angeles Music Awards. Yeah.
And then I think I think it got kind of a bad rap. It was a legitimate award show, but then toward the end, like there was a period of time where it started to kind of get, its name was a little tarnished. So we didn't really, talk about that too much. But yeah, it was a great show. I mean, it was at like the Shrine or something.
Yeah, it was 100 tables, 15 people at each table. So it was a nice crowd.
Great stage.
And they treated us really well, and we played well. We performed well. And the lyrical content part of it, Daniel's a great songwriter. So,
Thank you.
His lyrics have meaning, and we didn't just blab some things out to rhyme. And I think that's what got us that award for the most part is, the songs were good, but the lyrics meant something.
Well said, Wayne. I agree.
And also, James, this one's actually for you. I also read that you actually released your debut album in December of 2007, debut solo album, that is, called Freedom. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about Freedom. And of course, is it actually since been uploaded to the internet for the fans of Open Window, the newer generation of fans, to kind of go back and listen to just maybe one of their favorite members' solo music?
Ah, that's cool. Yeah, it was 2007, and I actually had asked Daniel if he would produce the album for me. I had written a bunch of tunes, and this is kind of this was solo. I always kind of write on my own, but I didn't feel this was Open Window music. It was just a lot softer music. And after working with Wayne, I was like, I've definitely got to bring this guy and his talent to the album as well. So he played piano on a beautiful song on there. He played all the bass and, of course, all the background vocals that you'll hear in Open Window now. He sang on Freedom album. I was very proud of it. Daniel did a great job producing it. And it is on iTunes and Apple Music, Spotify, all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm very proud of it. Very cool.
And it definitely is a very phenomenal album. I will give it that. It definitely is a sound of freedom, in my opinion.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Nice. What's the name of the album, Jim? State it again. I mean, the artist Jimmy Rutherford or James Rutherford?
James Rutherford, yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
That's what I saw in the credits, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. I had to jog my memory. He's always Jimmy to me.
I wasn't quite sure if you're asking me or asking James.
Jimmy,
I wanted to make sure.
I'm looking at his square, like, hello.
I don't know. I see.
We tried to be all together, but we live about 60 miles apart from one another, so it's not.
Oh, I don't blame you guys for not being together today, especially on this heat wave. I mean, that's ridiculous. Stay home.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing is about StreamYard, we can all be together on one feed in separate locations, so it's an amazing service.
Yeah, I have several albums out on iTunes, and people can find that on. Just go to James S. Rutherford, and it basically takes you to the stuff. And it's kind of like what Daniel's doing right now, and working with a bunch of different teams for Open Window to get a really good footing, social media footing, and get our new music out there. We're so excited about it. We can't wait for people to hear it.
And also, one of the very last older questions I actually had before we kind of migrate into the newer variation of Open Window, but in 2006, you guys were invited to include 2 tracks from your guys' album on the Monster Energy Drink compilation CD. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that, and of course, how did you guys get in partnership with Monster?
how do you find this stuff? And are you for hire as a publicist? Because I barely remember it. I wouldn't
The
even
internet
remember
is a wonderful thing, man. I honestly I make sure that I do my research. That's the one thing I do when I do these interviews.
No, I
If
think
it's out
that might
there,
have
I'll
been
find
through-
it.
I think that might have been through Brian, Daniel. I'm
Yeah,
not.
so it's funny. I probably wouldn't even remember what you were asking just now, except a buddy of ours within this past year, you know, DM'd me or sent me a text and say, "Hey, look what I found!" And he found the record. You know, he found the CD, and his band was on it. Our band was on it, and so it did jog my memory recently. If he hadn't sent that to me about a year ago, I probably wouldn't even have remembered. I probably wouldn't have remembered that. But we were playing a lot, so Open Window did play a lot. I was a recording artist still at the time, so we had quite a few connections. We used to play this great gig in Universal City up at it was called City Walk, and it was an incredible stage. And it was you know, it'd be, if we played on like a Saturday night, there'd easily be 1,000 to 2,000 people. A lot of coverage. We had pretty good merchandise going. We had a lot of connections. Monster Energy drink at some point sponsored us, and they put together this compilation CD with us. Was it Paperback Hero?
Yeah.
And then maybe one or two other bands, and each band got 2 tracks on this Monster Energy drink compilation. We got a lot of free Monster Energy drink, and back then I drank 3 a day. I don't do that anymore because it sends the heart into like fibrillation, you know. And so I kind of backed off the energy drinks, but at the time I drank those energy drinks. That's for sure. Do you remember that, Jim?
Absolutely, I do.
Yeah.
I have the CD.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what songs they were, but I remember it was through, you know, Paperback Hero.
I think it was Tonight.
Tonight and Beautiful, I think, was on there too.
Oh,
So,
no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, Tonight.
So-
One of my favorites.
Mhm.
And I really wish Monster Energy actually did stuff like that and made those compilation CDs. Now they just give you digital codes of bull crap that you don't really want nor need. But back in the day, they really gave some amazing promotional items. I mean, like compilation records. Like, I mean, you can't go wrong with that, man.
No, it's free advertising.
Really cool. We were once sponsored by Kettle potato chips too. So we could live on touring. If all else fails, we could live on potato chips and all kinds of flavors, right?
And Monster
And
Drink.
Monster Energy drink.
Well, at least when it comes to potato chips, like you said, you know, there's different flavors. So, I mean, if you get sick of the regular, you can go to barbecue and then salt and vinegar. At least you can switch the flavors up.
That's right.
Love me some potato chips. Love it.
I think James, now the band's back, he's trying to get that sponsorship back, man. He's trying to think ahead. And I don't blame him. I really don't. I don't blame you guys whatsoever. Get that sponsorship back.
Yeah, hey, you know, we'll take whatever we can get, right?
Absolutely.
But going into everything, you guys had an amazing run in the mid to early 2000s. But ultimately, you guys actually separated before re-emerging this year in 2025. I have to ask that one hard question, man. What actually made Open Window decide to part ways and just go separately during the hype of your guys' career?
I mean, not to own the floor, but I think I have the best answer, which is we did not separate. We never broke up. We went on a hiatus. But what was unintended was the length of the hiatus. So I had some other areas of non-musical areas I wanted to pursue. I didn't expect them to last as long. Jim wanted to release some solo records, or at least a solo album. I don't know if he intended on releasing 3. Wayne has always been an in-demand session musician, so that's never changed. So I went on hiatus for personal reasons outside of music. Again, I didn't expect it to last a dozen years, but it sort of did. Jimmy and Wayne never missed a beat and kept playing music the entire time. The drummer John also went on a hiatus and pursued, interests outside of music. And about 3-4 years ago, we both, John and I independently started getting our chops back. And then about 2 years ago, we started playing together again and jamming and just having a good time. And then about a year ago, we started writing, and hence
there was no like catastrophic event that happened where, I said, I don't want to know you anymore or anything like that. It's just, like you said, we pursued other interests. At least for me, I had young children at the time, and I was not in a position, if we had to go out on tour for a long period of time, I was not in a position to do that. So, we just decided we're going to go do other things. But yeah, we've been in touch pretty much the whole time. And then, like Daniel just said, all of a sudden I called him up. I said, hey man, I miss writing with you. I miss playing with you. And he said, yeah, well, my chops are not that good, but let's work on it and let's see what comes up. And all of a sudden, here we are with another record. So
Same. Took the first 10 years, didn't even miss the guy. But the second decade, I really started missing the guys, and I had come up with a bunch of riffs, man, just really cool riffs that I felt like had some, I don't know, something about them that reminded me of when Daniel and I were working together when we were teenagers. And I just said, Wayne, Daniel, check these guys. What do you think? And they're like, wait, that sounds pretty good, man. We got to get together. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So we got rolling again.
And I got to say, you guys are back and better than ever. I'm telling you, the new music is absolutely phenomenal. But you also wrote on Instagram as well that you have a full-length album coming. I know that throughout the interview you mentioned that as well, but I was wondering if you can tell us and your fans, what can they expect from this new album when it does get released in the foreseeable future?
So I'm going to say that you're going to get the open window sound, but you're also going to get a more mature sounding record. We have a lot more as far as orchestration, musical orchestration, not horns or anything like that necessarily, but we've just taken it in a more mature direction. There's still good songs that are rock pop songs, if you will, but some of them have some really nice chord structure to them, and you can tell that we're much more seasoned, and I think people are going to love the hooks. Every song has a great hook.
And variety, right? I mean, they don't all sound alike. There's a lot of different variety going on this album.
Yeah, I mean, the unusual thing that happened is we went out and recorded an album, old school. We did an album that goes on or at least we believe it does. We recorded an album that has the potential of taking the listener on a journey. Well, lo and behold, I was on hiatus for a while, and the industry sort of changed a bit. And then come to find out, after we completed the album, oh, hey, bands don't release albums anymore. They release singles. You got to, garner your fan base one song at a time, and you release songs every month or two, and then unveil the album. So, that surprised me a little bit. But I guess the good news is we've already got 11 songs ready to go, and we're releasing them one at a time. We've released Best Thing. Our next release is this Thursday. So in 2-3 days, on the 28th, August 28th, we release a song called Close Your Eyes. I believe the third release will be a song called One Track Mind. And then we'll just see how it goes. We may release a fourth song and then unveil the album. We may release a fifth song and then unveil the album. We'll do what the fans ask us to do, or what the need is, basically.
And I got to say, me personally, I think the music industry is going backwards in a sense with that, man. Because personally, I'm an album guy. I'd rather sit back with the whole album, maybe get teased with 2 or 3 singles, and then snag the album and sit there and just go on the journey and listen to it from front to back. But the whole single thing, I guess that's a new generation, what they love, man. I'm just an album guy.
Yeah, us too. Definitely us too.
Yeah. But we have to listen to those suggestions as well, and make informed decisions. But I think so far it's going pretty well. I mean, Best Thing's been out for 6 weeks, and through various different channels, there's a couple of million views of the song, or at least bits and pieces of the song on reels and things like that, which is totally new experience for me. But I'm kind of digging it. You get all these influencers and people like that are attaching themselves to it, and all of a sudden we've got millions of little views on there, which is nice.
There is one other. I don't know if it's an advantage or certainly an opportunity that we seized because of the parsing out of the songs. It gave us an opportunity to remix a couple of them, and we're even more excited about the remix versions.
Mm-hmm.
And so moving forward, that's what we'll be releasing. We went to we have a mixing engineer that's renowned and just did a great job on Close Your Eyes, and that's what will be released on Thursday. So we think it's going to even do better than the last song we released.
And before we actually start wrapping things up, we have a fan question from Gwen Hamlet. She's like, "Hi y'all, on a tour, what cities would you like to perform in?"
You guys want to answer that? Or?
I mean, I would love to go. I would love to come up to Canada. I would. You know what? I know
The
there's
border's
big
open.
fans up
Come
there.
on down.
Yeah.
Come on up, actually.
But,
Or down.
yeah, up. I'm a true blue New Yorker, and I'm always willing to go onto the East Coast and perform out there.
For
Go
me,
ahead, Jim.
I would love to get up to the Great White North too. I've got cousins in Winnipeg. I've got cousins in Edmonton. I'd love to go there and play a gig and maybe talk to some of my favorite hockey players up there.
And my
Like I
answer,
said, come on up or come on down. I'm a DJ. I'm clearly not good with geography. So whatever it is, just come on through to Canada. The border's open. Come have some fun.
and I have two answers for you, Gwen. I could base it off where we've toured in the past and went well, but my answer really is we will go where the fans ask us to go. Where the fans are, that's where we want to be. I don't care where that is.
Absolutely.
But in the past, we've done very well in like the Pacific Northwest area of the United States. We seem to have pretty good fan base in like the Latin American countries. Seem to like our music. But you know, if there are fans anywhere, man, South Dakota, South Carolina, I don't care. If that's where the fans want us, we'll be there.
Here.
And I have to ask, aside from the new album and the single that's coming out this Thursday and every additional month until you guys decide to drop the whole album, what is next for Open Window? Like, is there anything we happen to miss during this evening's interview that you guys still want to touch on, talk about, or promote? We still got you here live on 99 FM tonight.
We are, putting together a tour. So we're building, some form of a tour. If it's probably realistically not going to come together till January and February of 2026. So we'll be touring in the first part of 2026. We are working on the remixes and the releases of the singles, and then leading up to the album release. And really right now we're just looking for seeking out opportunities to put together some back-to-back shows. And we'll probably play locally in Southern California over the next couple of months. A show here, a show there. But as far as stringing together a tour of any type, that'll realistically be January of 2026.
And before we actually part ways, guys, obviously I know how to follow Ventura, California's finest all across social media. But for the people that down here in Canada that might just be discovering you guys tonight, how do we go about following Open Window across all social media platforms? How are we going to stay updated on the 2026 tour and, of course, the up-and-coming album?
Sure. The main website is openwindowband.com.
But I would say our main social media platform, although we are on YouTube and just starting to get on TikTok a little bit, and we are on Facebook a little bit, it's really Instagram. So Instagram is sort of the hub. So Instagram at Open Window Band, all one word, Open Window Band, no spaces. And there's everything you need there because there's a Linktree, points you in all directions of what's going on. That's where we'll be announcing our releases. Anywhere you stream music or download music, Spotify. I think at this point only one song's on Spotify, Open Window, Best Thing. There is another band with the name that's in the past. They have some stuff up there, but I believe we're already pretty well past them.
Yeah.
On numbers and streams and so forth.
Yeah, mainly it's Open Window Band. You have to make sure you get the band in there. That's what attaches to us.
At least on Instagram. So yeah, IG at Open Window Band, all one word. And we keep it up pretty well. We don't have a curator or a admin. I run that page myself. So if you DM us, you're talking to me. Sometimes one of the guys will jump in, but you're really talking to the band. We don't have an admin company, speaking on our behalf or anything. We are that page, and we'd love to meet you.
Yeah.
So drop
please.
us a line.
We'd love to tell you whatever you need to know.
And I got to say, guys, thank you so much for giving not only myself, but the radio station Airways a bit of your time. It was such an honor speaking with you guys tonight, just going through your band's history and, of course, talking about everything that is to come Open Window. But, guys, again, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully we can make this happen again sometime soon. But for now, have yourselves a phenomenal night out there in California. And definitely try and stay cool as well.
Immortal.
Thank you. Thank you, Canada. We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Honored to be on.
You're most certainly welcome, guys. Have yourselves a phenomenal night.
All right.